Hello and welcome to Star Wars Saturdays. Star Wars Saturdays is a feature part of the Gauntlet Network or the Gauntlet community, which is an online tabletop role-playing game community across the world. And Star Wars Saturdays is my gigantic homage to kind of a living campaign set in the original trilogy of the Star Wars universe. So from Rogue One and Star Wars Rebels, like leading through, we're currently in the New Hope timeline. New Hope is the first Star Wars movie that was released chronologically in our like actual real life timeline, 1977. And so recent events in our current timeline, Aldron's been destroyed. The Republic Senate has been dissolved. There are Imperial governors who have been put in place, and the Empire's on the rise. Jedi have been extinct. This religion has been extinct for several decades. When we first watched this movie, we thought hundreds of years, but in actuality, it's more like 30-ish. That's okay. We have a cast of characters who are playing in this month's game, which is Impulse Drive. Impulse Drive is by Adrian Toon. It is a PbtA game in the model of Firefly, Killjoys, Mass Effect, and also there's a healthy dose of Star Wars that influenced this game. It's really cool. It's currently in development, free to download and try out if you wish. You can find it on DriveThruRPG. It is in active development. In fact, there have been some changes from last week's game session to this week based off some of our feedback and some other discussions that are ongoing on the Discord. And if you want to jump in and take part in providing suggestions, feedback, taking early looks at playtest material, you are welcome to become part of the Discord. Just reach out to Max or myself, and we will get you a link. It's pretty cool, great community, and a fun thing to be a part of. This is personally is right now is my favorite star-themed PbtA game. There's a lot of cool stuff, and we're gonna dive into it. So Impulse Drive. This is our second session. In the first session, we got to know everyone. We'll get to know them again in just a second. Everyone is on Port Jericho. Port Jericho is in the Minos cluster, which is on the Outer Rim. And Outer Rim is also where you would find things like Tatooine and Ryloth and other heavily populated by non-human alien species, not under the thumb of the Imperial edicts, but also struggling to survive. The idea is that this is a crew of a tramp freighter. I at one point called it a frigate, I believe, but it's definitely a freighter because a frigate would be way kick-ass and a totally different kind of game. Their ship is called, it's a Bright Blade model. It's called the Nightfall. And the Nightfall is currently, as they sit on Port Jericho, it's currently locked down in the hangar where they had parked that sucker, and they're trying to get it out of quarantine, as it were, or oh man, I can't remember. Impound. That's the word. All right, guys. I remember the word pretty quickly. I didn't have to go thesaurus or anything. You're in for a treat because I have my thesaurus kicking in my own brain. So the things we have going is that we have one crew member who is trying to figure out how to bring the ship, as it were. We have one crew member who is running away from the security forces because they decided to arrest him in order to get information on the former clone trooper who is standing with his charge, a not Jedi, because we don't say the J word around here. And the two of them are currently in the quarters of one of the security officers or security guards. She's not really an officer. She's not quite that high. She's more like, a security guard, kind of newish. Security guard who in her quarters is also a Deveronian, another ship captain. And there's a bit of a conflict over Lot 11. There were several lots of storage units that they had gotten released due to non-payment to sell to the highest bidder. And the captain had kind of snaked that one, kind of snake a lot 11, because she had found out that there was some really, really good poodoo on there. So came to talk to the security guard about that, and one of the people that she had snaked it from is this very same Deveronian captain. So that's the setup of what's about to go down here. So let's do a brief reminder of who is playing what. I will start with you, Steve. Steve, which of these wonderful characters are you playing, sir?
I am playing Travaxi, also known as Trey, this scoundrel, who's the one running from the local agents. Trey was born to a wealthy merchant family in the service of the Galactic Republic. And he partied hard, still has many of his addictions, though he claims he doesn't. Whether it be glitter stim or his, grew pipe and whatever. And now he's just addicted mainly to lying and stealing.
Nice. I love it. He's a living Beastie Boys song. I love it. Next, we have Max. Max, please tell us which of the characters you're playing.
I'm playing Damper. He's a Sulistan infiltrator, small statured and skittish, nervous thief who at one point was working for the Empire when he was younger, still on Sulistan, and then switched over to the Rebellion, and for luck made him find the captain's crew, and he joined the crew. But we have some trust issues with him, obviously, because he could be a turncoat. Once you've done it once, right, you can always do it again. So I'm the go-to purveyor of illegal stuff on board, usually. So Trey likes to come to me for his addictions kicks. Well, and we have to. Last session, we had a little trade there, so I got a contract to find more stuff for him today, and that's pretty much it at this point.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And so now we have Matthias. Please, Matthias, tell us about the character you're playing.
Yeah, I'm playing Addie Han, and Addie Han is an aged clone. Dug out of everything that had to do with the Republic and the Empire when all that stuff went down. And he's a warhorse. And yeah, he was involved in the murder of Jedi Master Star Sally when Order 66 went through. So there's baggage. But he's a warhorse, so he can carry it, I guess.
We shall see. Interesting about Stasani, after you mentioned her, I went back and found the Clone War episodes where she and her sister were involved. That was really interesting stuff. So it's a bummer that she survived her sister being killed by the first precursor to Order 66. And you sealed the deal by killing the other one. Good job. Last but not least, we have any award-winning blogger and famed podcaster. I'm very overwhelmed to have Lowell with us. Lowell, please tell us about your character.
So the captain has had better days than this one. Mercifully, worse days. But the captain is in charge of this group, and maybe there are some trust issues. Maybe not. It's all out there. Captain might have some talents that she doesn't like to talk about, and she might have mind gargled a guy last time, and she's not feeling too hot about how that all went down. But she's got to be the captain, and she's got to get through this.
Sweet. We will pick up right where we had cliffhangered for a moment. You know what? Actually, no, because I feel like Max didn't get a whole lot in the last quarter of the game. So we're going to pick up with Damper. If you don't mind, Max, I'd like to kind of hard frame you a little bit, as you are currently in a duct, looking through a grate down onto the bright blade. You have circumvented, because you're an infiltrator. This is what you do. You circumvented the lockdown door system by taking the air ducts, because that works in every sci-fi movie ever. It never goes wrong. Even Galaxy Quest worked great there.
And they're always clean
They're always clean. There's never any like drones with lasers, nothing like that. So anyway, you're looking through the grate, and we see the bright blade. You know that your ship is. She's in good shape. There are no guards that were inside. They basically just locked the doors because, by the way, I'm not sure if you're looking in the NPCs tab, but we now have a picture for Colonel Wilhelm K. Thompson. And yeah, he just basically locked down the door. Mag locked it down and said, that's it. We're done with that. That's good. So there's the bright blade. What do you do?
I want to know the crate. It's on the ceiling. So how high up am I from the nightfall?
How far are you from the nightfall?
Yeah. How far is the fall? How far is the fall?
Got it. So I think it's a pretty long drop. It's I can't do meters. 40 feet.
That's fine.
4 stories. You could toss you could try to angle yourself to jump onto some crates to decrease the drop, or you could try climbing along the grating and then drop onto the bright blade, because she's pretty tall and that wouldn't be too bad.
I think I'm gonna look into my tactical pack and grab those very iconic stormtrooper grappling hook that are in this tiny little box, right? And just gonna hook it on the side of the crating and just like drop the rope, activate the cloak, and slowly ripple down to the nightfall.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Go ahead, and you've used your tac pack. That's perfect use of it. No roll. Bam. You zip down and hit the deck, and you can see that the area that would basically it's a magnetic shielding, so you can actually see out into space from the hangar here. And so you can see out into space, into the nebula that's not far away from here. The Port Jericho, if you remember, it's part of the mining colony. So there's a gas giant that's directly beneath you that they grab a lot of fuel and do processing from. And the Bright Blade, she's in good shape. Addie Hen had been able to take care of everything after he bribed a certain security guard to let everything go. She's refueled, restocked, ready to go. What do you do?
I want to know if I fire up the engines and get the ship spooled and ready to go in a quick flash. Is that gonna alert someone in the security office or something? Is that something I would know?
You know what? Why don't we use a move for that? Why don't we share expertise?
All right.
Cool. So go ahead and roll with calculating.
I use the blue dices.
Yep.
That's a 9.
Nice.
I think I'm pretty good at calculating. Give me a sec here. No, it's a 9 straight, which is fine.
All right. On a 7 to 9 with share expertise, you ask your question, and the Space Master will give you an interesting answer, but it's up to you to make it useful. So, yes, well, firing up the ship will not set off any alarms. Trying to get down that magnetic shield absolutely will.
Right. If I remember correctly from last time, we're not still in a rush to leave, so I'm not going to do that at this point. But I will try to get as fast as I can to the door. So I think I'm going to access the hatch on top of the ship, quickly move inside the ship, look around, make sure there's no one inside for traps, open up the ramp, leave it open, and get to the security door and try to open it from the inside so we have an easy access to the ship if we need to
Awesome.
run away.
Cool. So you go in, you drop through the hatch, check everything, go through pre-flight checks, drop the ramp, and work down the ramp. And you said you wanted to work on the lock to the front door from the corridors of the Port Jericho itself. As you walk down, you start to head towards the door, towards the main corridors and the space station itself. Get a view. Something catches your eye out past the magnetic field in the view of space. You see something just pop out of hyperspace, and the thing that pops out of hyperspace is it's basically a freighter that has 6 TIE fighters. It's an Imperial freighter. It's a vehicle carrier, right? That has the ability to hop into light speed, and it will carry 6 to 8, pretty much a full squadron of TIE fighters. This thing, and it starts cruising towards the space station. TIE fighters are all docked at this point, but that is not a great thing. So yeah, you can work on the maglock on the other side. I think as an infiltrator, you're probably pretty good at this. Let's see you. I think it's keeping your cool, right? You're trying to make sure that you don't set off any alarms. Nice and easy going. Let's take this door down without causing any further problems. Does that sound good?
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
So,
When you keep your cool, you roll with stalwart.
right, which is not my forte. It's at -1.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. It's an 8 still.
Okay. Not bad. All right. With a 7 to 9 result, you have a few choices. Do you see it in the move?
I'll go and check.
You can have disadvantage going forward, which is on your very next roll, or you can suffer 1 stress.
With the ties coming in, I think it would be fictionally appropriate to be stressed right now. So
Okay.
I'll be he's very skittish. He's a nervous guy, so I think he's talking to himself in Sulistan, and we have like subtitles on the bottom of the screen, and he's basically saying like, "They found me again. What am I gonna do?" Kind of working on the door.
Nice. And the door, shoo, and we use that as our quick cut to the captain and Addie Hinton, as both of you have walked into the very modest quarters of, and by the way, also in NPCs, I have a pick up for Mila Kale, the modest quarters of Mila Kale, and you see Trinick. Trinick, by the way, does have a Blastech DL-18 blaster pistol. That is just a regular-sized blaster pistol. The one who has a awesome heavy blaster pistol, courtesy Addie Hinton, is Mila Kale, but it's actually sitting on her desk by her little data pad, and there's a small plant. But you think that is not a living plant because it looks alive and it's on a space station. And there's no sunlight coming in here. And Trinick is sitting on her bed. He's sitting casually, like he doesn't look like he just was sleeping in it. There's not a whole lot of places to sit in these little quarters. And Trinick says, "You stole from me, Captain." His hand's near his blaster, but he hasn't drawn it out of his holster.
I say, well, maybe you shouldn't have told me where I should go for picking up cargo, okay? Because I asked you, and you told me to go there. So
I told you to go there, but
shush for a second. Let's get this settled out. You, her, me, 3-way split.
Mila, she tenses and she says, "There's some people who really need that lot."
Yeah, and they're paying for it, right?
And we really needed to get to our ship. And we had a deal. I'm a blaster pistol.
Yeah, I know. She says, she goes over, she picks up the heavy blaster pistol, and she hands it back to you. I tried to keep. Listen, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't tell.
Ugh, you guys have feelings and shit. Tell me what is going on.
Trinick says, "Listen, I can't tell you. Why don't you just take the money that I put up for lot 11? All those creds, yours. You let me have it, and I mean, I'll have to steal it, but you just take that. You take those creds. The way you get something out of this, and I get lot 11.
See, I'm going to take that offer because you haven't given me any reason to be sympathetic to you. Maybe if you told me and you tugged on my heartstrings, I would have said yes. But give me the money. You can have that lot. I want out of here.
Mila says, "There's no way you're going to steal those blasters from." Listen, she gets a little flash
like,
on her comm
don't
unit.
Don't tell me. In my head, I'm like,
Cool. So you get a comm from so your comm unit goes off, and it is Damper.
good. So you guys, this is all going to be cool. We'll get that transfer done. It'll be all fine. And we'll check. I look at the text. What does the text say?
It says imps inbound. Text only.
So we should do that transfer quickly, I say to them. Let's do that right now. Come on. Here. Come on. Give me the money. I'll let loose my thing.
Mila says to Trey, "Listen, no, I've got to keep my job. I will lose my job. I need this job. I don't give a shit what the Rebel Alliance wants."
God. All right. I turn to Addie and I say, like I'm saying it to him, but that they will obviously overhear. Addie, we should probably get moving on this because there are Imperials inbound.
Trinix, oh God, Poodoo.
Yes, Poodoo.
Cool. So we cut away to the chase scene of our wonderful Trey. Dun, 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 dun. Now, remember, it is the space station where gravity is. You're actually running along the kind of outer edge because the way that they manufacture gravity is with that light rotation. So the good news is that there's only a certain sector of that overall curve that they can see you. So as you're running, there are a couple of blaster shots that come over your head and one that actually hits behind your feet because you duck around the curve. Let's see how well you're performing in your run.
This is far too much exercise for what I prefer.
Right? Yeah,
I mean, at least the gravity's helping me out here.
It is. There's that. Why don't you act quick and we'll see how well you're doing on this chase. Where are you running towards, by the way? You're running to the ship?
Well, I think, the ship was still...
Wait,
I think
as far as you knew,
I had calmed various people as I was running. So, a lot of people probably have flashing lights on their system that they're ignoring. So, yes, my initial impression was to run to the ship.
Cool. I mean, you could try to duck into the little.
Is there anywhere? Yeah, is there anywhere populated, like a bar or a bazaar area or something that I could lose myself?
Yeah, there's a promenade that you can get to where they've got different merchants. It's almost like a little space strip mall. There's also the bar where the Duros bartender. And then the ship, but nobody's told you that the ship is free. So once you act quick and get an idea how well you can.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe I'll be heading for the bar since I do at least know someone.
It's true, Jessen.
And that's an 8.
That is an 8. All right. On an act quick, you roll with slick. And 7 to 9, which is what you got, you do it, but you have to choose one. You're off balance or rushed, and you have disadvantage going forward. You left something behind. The Space Master will tell you what. Or you're pushed to your limits with the effort, and you suffer 1 stress.
I am pushed to my limits. Not only do I not have my medicine, I'm also, running.
Okay. All right, go ahead and mark that stress. You head into the bar, come rushing in. You're going to try to blend in. Remember, we have within this bar, there's Wuglug, the Gamorrean, who's gone, right? So there's this space of like old slug slime that hasn't quite been picked up off of the stools. The bar's clean. We have Jessen, who's behind the bar. Then there's the servers that are moving around, and then there's that weird video, like the large video screen where people are watching different animal races and the like, and placing bets on it. So you come in and you've got to find a place to hide. Of course, there's the restrooms as well. Where is it that you want to duck out and try to hide?
Is the bar like, a circular bar in the center, or is it?
Good question. So it's more like a shotgun style. So it's long and narrow, and then the bar just runs along the wall and then curves at the end. That's where the Gamorrean was sitting, like right at the corner at the end. So you could go all the way down the bar and then like be at the point where it kind of rolls around. You could see the front door and be sitting at the bar if that's what you're.
I'm going to do maybe something slightly more cinematic, which is I hop right over the bar, sliding right over it next to my favorite bartender here.
Oh, Jincy. So you jump over the bar, and Jincy, those are, her green hands up. She's a Duros, right? She's got those kind of yellowish almond-shaped eyes, and she looks a little surprised as you jump down. You see there are like different setup hookups for the video displays, a bunch of liquors down here, and a few people noticed, but seeing as how they're going to look to the bartender like, oh, this is her job, she's got to deal with it.
Right.
She drops to a knee. What are you doing?
Like, there's extra credit in it for it. I just need to stay out of sight for a second.
What have you done? Am I going to get fired?
No, not at all. Just a disagreement.
A disagreement? Not with blasters?
A disagreement is, as I put, a cred stick, up, I'm like, I'm sure it'll be nothing.
All right, cool. You're definitely trying to manipulate her to cover for you. That cred stick, I'm going to let you roll with advantage, but go ahead and manipulate. So you roll with slick, and I'm allowing you to roll with advantage.
Thank goodness I have all of this money on me.
I know.
Slick with advantage.
Oh, just so we're on the same page, were you using by Crestic? Were you using one of your liquid assets?
Yes, I was.
Okay, awesome. So that definitely gives you advantage. I just want to make sure. I thought that's what you meant, but I thought I should.
There is a move for that says, expend a use to offer a bribe as leverage or pay for a service. Expired end of a contract. Yeah, so I don't know if that's mechanical or not. So. I think the advantage covers that, I think.
Yep. That's what I was trying to do.
I'm going to reroll my selected dice and then add a dice to it.
Okay. And you're slick. You're pretty slick, if I recall.
Purple.
+1 on slick. All right.
Just a quick note on the rules. Several of gears have moves attached to them. I think liquid asset, that's not really a move. It's just like the explanation text from the book. That's why you don't see any mechanical hard rules attached to it there.
Okay, so at least with my slick, it is a 10.
That is nice. Okay, so on an NPC, on a 10+, they can accept the offer at face value, agree to the exchange, or ask you to promise something and do what you want if they agree. She just accepts the exchange. You did take care of Wogluk, like you've earned a bit of credit with her. So she stands back up and she says, I may ask you to tap a keg in a minute. I'm just saying. And like she moves over and
whatever you want.
Starts serving a person.
As soon as she goes to do something else, you see me, grab one of the bottles and just take a, quick swig of it.
Yeah, it turns out that you've got some Alderani ale, and it's quite expensive. So yeah, it's very good. You hear a couple of people come in, and someone comes up to the bar, and they're like right by you, and you hear a harsh voice. Jancy, hey, you seen some ugly human come in here, running like somebody was chasing him? Jancy pauses, glances down at the little cred stick that's in her left hand. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you see him. Just give us a call. You don't have to do anything. We're security. And then he says, hey, you stay here. We're going to keep moving. It's like he's talking to somebody else, not Jency.
Got it.
So we cut back to Damper. And yeah, so Damper, as you're standing there, there are, I love that. That's a great suggestion. So there's some pit droids that come down the corridor. They're carrying the crates of a lot of, well, they not carrying, like there would be like a grav sled, and there are a few of them on top and others that are pulling the grav sled and operating as it comes along the
I'm picturing there's like way too many of them for the job, and they're not helping each other. They're more like, like pushing and shoving and having like this discussion argument on who should be.
Pit droids are quite irascible and they don't seem to get along. So yeah, we have one that shoves another pit droid off of the top of the sets of crates, and it turns and lands button first, and so it pops and just lands there. And
just bring it inside and put it in the cargo bay. We'll take care of the rest.
Cool. The grav sled turns, starts slowly easing in. Anything else that you're doing, Damper?
This is Damper calling all concerned person. The nest is now ready to hatch. The eggs are in the nest. The nest is available. We're open for business. We're wide open to every suggestion.
We got it. We got it.
10-4. And at that point, I'm going to quickly head to the rendezvous point, which I have no idea where it is. So I'm just like moving around the station, and I think I hear like blaster shots or stuff. Maybe.
Possibly. Let's cut to Captain. So Mila says, "We're taking it to Ryloth. Just take it to Ryloth. I'm sure you'll get paid for it."
I turn to the Deveronian and I say, "You got two choices now, because it is now loaded onto my ship. You can make a fuss, or you can come with me. And you can make sure that this gets to where it needs to go."
Jenny says, "Listen, Mila, we'll get out of here so you can pretend you aren't involved.
Yeah,
I'll go with you, but let me talk to you for a second, Captain."
I'm standing right here. This is a very small room. You can talk to me right now.
She's wrong. You're not going to get paid. This is for some freedom fighters. They're trying to get out from underneath certain Imperial entanglements.
I already got paid because you're gonna give me the money. We're gonna get them to where you need to go. You said you wanted to get this to that place, right?
I do.
Okay. Then give me the money you promised, and we'll go and we'll take this to those rebels or whatever they are.
You're gonna come out short.
Dude,
okay.
I want to get off the station now, so stop flapping your lips and turning your horns. Let's get moving.
All right. He pulls out his comm link and he starts calling out to the crew of the Gilded Lily. And
I turn to Addie and I say, "Addie, we three are going to need to get back to the ship. This is the point at which my expertise has run out."
Yeah, and Addie, like I'm already moving towards the door to check the hallway outside, like left, right.
You got your blaster, right?
I got my blaster. I also have my shotgun close at my hip and my hands on it. So I'm ready if we need to blast our way out of here. But maybe let's start the shooting. Hopefully, just when we're like when we can see our ship, not before. That's kind of going to be the goal.
Okay. Yeah. I know sometimes I draw a little early, but I get the Deveronian. We follow Addie.
Okay. Cool. So the two of you are going to try to make your way to your ship, to the Nightfall. And how are you guys going to handle your... how are you going to handle Trey? Because as far as Trey knows, there's someone here in the bar. And, of course, he's not on the ship. So, Trey, are you reaching out to those guys or are you just getting drunk underneath?
You probably receive my comm message as text because...
Right. That, has 16 ways to say that we're ready to leave.
It's like, 7
He
ways
gets
to
charged
leave
for
your
every
life.
one of those texts too. Just to
What's
remind you, he gets charged for every one of those texts. So
Of course.
Yeah, and you definitely
Suckers.
get a Trey. You ready to move out? Because we know Damper.
Yeah, because last time I think I yelled that I was running away. Trapped in the bar. No, really.
You
Could
You need
use
someone-
could use someone to extract.
I'm on my way.
Are you? Someone needs to stay with the ship, Damper. You're with the ship, right?
Yeah, in the close vicinity. Yeah, you could say that. I'll stay in eyesight. I got it. I got this.
You got ready, Captain. Like, it's just straight down this way, and then a left, and then you reach the hangars. I'm gonna go get Trey out of the bar.
okay, be careful.
Cool. So Addie Hen wants to try to help Trey break out. What is Damper doing?
I'm looking for a spot with a nice cover where I can see like all the plaza on one side and the docking station on the other. So I have like a good general view of what's going on. And I just cover down and take out my blaster and get ready.
Cool.
Oh yeah, and I definitely hand you my blaster, Captain. So you got
Excuse-
something on you.
I go, no, I'm good.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got this laser shiv,
Yeah.
Sorry. I love that so much. Cool. So the way I'm imagining, just so we're clear, right? Walking around is around the ring, and then when you go in the center, they actually have false gravity. That's where the bar is. That's where the promenade is with the shops and the like. So that's where you set up, Damper. And as you are heading as you're heading towards this, and Damper, you of course see this as well. There are troopers, there are stormtroopers, as well as guard personnel here in this central area. It's easy enough for the Imperials to have parked, and they've got, you're not sure how many, at least a squad. Adding in, by the way, these guys, they're sloppy. The way that they march, the way they move around, it's so casual. You see one of their, their Sora sub blaster carbines, like there's scoring marks on it. Just, this is bad. This is not good. These
Keep
troopers.
your equipment in check. Yeah.
Addie Hen, there's the bar across the way. You can actually see the flickering lights of the hollows, and then the neon sign on the outside of the bar. You can see Jency, the Duros bartender, and standing just inside, kind of looking around, dressed in the same guard uniform that you saw Mila in, is another. It's a human, near human. You think possibly he's fringer, near human species, and he's younger. Not sure how well he's going to be able to fight. He's actually, you would guess, he might be an Akari species, which is a near human.
Yeah, I stand at the entrance and like take stock of the room, and mean, we've been in calm contact, so I just kind of speak into my sleeve. I'm here, Trey. Where are you?
Behind the bar.
So are you
to
drunk?
the right of Jency.
Are you drunk yet? You have every opportunity at this point that if you wanted to get trashed, you could super duper do that thing.
Yeah, I think I'm trashed. So I'm slurring. I'm between the Alderanian ale and the Travaki, or what was it? Something whiskey. I forget what it is. I'm like, I don't know. I can't read it. And then you hear some slurping sounds as he.
Are you trashed?
No. I'm fine. Like, it's just another Tuesday.
Okay, are you going to get out of here if I give you the cover for it? Yeah.
Well, sure. The bill's going to come due sometime.
Yeah, we got to move quick. Okay, so I turn and I approach the. It's pretty obvious who the guy is who's asking questions about Trey, right?
Well, the guy who was asking questions about Trey actually moved on and told one of the junior guards to just sit tight here in the bar because, he might come here. Yeah. So that's who's here is a junior guard.
So I'm moving over to the junior guard and I'm going like hey officer, do you have a moment for me? There might be an issue, and I'm basically making it so he looks away. So in the background, Trey could slip by.
So the question I have for you is, that your face is, well, it's super obvious. Plus, it's also known. How are you hiding your appearance? I assume you are. I just want to know.
Oh, no.
Like, are you wearing a full?
I think the angle is I'm here to turn myself in to the junior guard.
Cool. So let's the junior guard. You come over. You're talking to him, trying to buy some time for Trey to Didi Mao. And he looks at you. The Ikari, they have like really crystal white skin and red hair. Actually, it's on the head like hair, but it's not exactly hair. And he looks at you, and he blinks for a second. You're the.
Yeah.
Then he remembers I should reach for my gun, and he starts to reach for his blaster.
I'm just here to I'm here to turn myself in, and I trust the authorities. I think this is all a misunderstanding and can be resolved. I'm not the one you're looking for, but I don't want any trouble. You wanna like?
Oh yeah, he almost had his blaster out, and now he's like he puts the blaster back and he starts to reach for binders. Let's go ahead, Trey, and have you act quick to
over his shoulder. You see, Trey's head poking up, over the bar, and he's gonna try and scurry over the bar. And
awesome. So you are definitely using lean on me, which you should be really good at Hen. So go ahead and roll with stalwart. And if you're successful, then you have the ability to give Trey rolling with advantage.
Yeah, it's the orange ones. And that's an 8. That's a 10.
Nice. So your efforts help. They have advantage going forward. Your support brings some relief, so he can even clear one stress. And you're not pushed to your limits or exposed to danger. You get all 3 of those options. That's a wonderful roll.
Yeah, and I can imagine how this goes down. And so I don't even get handcuffed. It looks like. Yeah, and I think it's because I wanted to try to help him, and then we drop the handcuffs, and the guard has to lean down, and that's when I go and give him.
That's awesome.
Strike on the back of the head.
Yeah, you pop him right in the back of the head. He just drops to the deck, and Trey, you're free. And Jinsey says, I had nothing to do with this. I like my job. Everybody else in the bar starts like hiding and stuff.
I will stumble my way out of there.
Cool. Cool. So you guys stumble your way out of there. Damper, you see that there are some troopers that are headed that way. They don't seem to be on alert. That's a bit of their routine is they're checking each of the individual stalls. They're going to be heading to the bar. What do you do, Damper?
Is there a way for me to access like the security system from where I am and maybe activate the firewalls or the fire alarm or just create a diversion or something?
Oh, well, why don't you scope out the situation and look for something like that?
Going on to basic moves, exploration, which is based on calculating. All right. So that's a straight roll.
Okay.
There we go. I'm not sure I rolled it. I think I got. Oh yeah, I did. It's a 10.
Nice. Okay, so on a 10, your
questions.
investigation pays off. Ask 3.
Right. So I think the obvious one at this point would be. How could I best end this quickly?
Awesome. I love your idea, so we're going to roll with that. You find an access panel, and if you go and basically you can flip a couple of wires and reconnect like there's a little fuse, like you can pop the fuse in and make it seem as if a fire is going on, and that should...
There's probably like wall spray going...
Yeah,
like
a bunch of fire suppressant drops down from the ceiling, and it's going to buy you guys the ability to get out. I will let one of the two of you, Addie Hen or Trey, if you want to act quick to try to get the heck out of Dodge, I'll let you roll with advantage.
Yeah, we're trying to get out of there and get...
I think Addie's more capable of leading at this point.
That's true. Probably.
Like every once in a while, I stumble in a different direction than you want to go, and you.
I mean, if you want to roll with disadvantage, Trey, just because you're a little drunk, then that just cancel it out. It'd be a flat roll for you.
I think I might have to, because I don't know if Addie, is used to corralling people.
Yeah, it's established that I'm helping you, but you're the weakest link here.
Yeah, I am the weakest link at this point.
You cannot phone a friend. You've already pulled the audience.
I will make a straight roll. And it's an 8.
An 8. Awesome. So you can take a stress, which you just cleared a stress.
Yeah.
Or you can have disadvantage on your next roll.
I think I'll definitely take that stress back.
Cool. So you take that stress back. You're able to pull your friend Addie Hen along. Damper, you just extract yourself because this is the thing you do. 3 of you make your way towards the ship. We follow up with Cap, and you see that the pit droids, amid their fights, have gotten Lot 11, all those crates of blaster rifles loaded onto the Bright Blade. You know that the Gilded Lily, you're in contact with Trinick, and he's told you the Gilded Lily, she's spinning up, but there are ties in the air.
We'll deal with that as we deal with that. You don't want to rebel. Stupid. Okay. I'm just gonna try and get to the ship then. That's what I'm gonna do.
Sweet. So as you head up towards the ship and you see that everything's being loaded on, there are some stormtroopers that come through the door into your hangar bay. What do you do?
I keep walking like it's nobody's business. I bend down, pick something up, and keep walking towards the ship.
Ma'am, we need to have a conversation with you.
Do this thing like I got headphones on, and I keep going.
Cool. He's gonna walk right up to you. He thinks, "Oh, pretty girl. I will interrogate her."
All
with
right.
my blaster
It's
rifle.
at that point that I spin and I've got an MSC droid in my hand and I'm going to clock him upside the head with it.
Yes, firefight. No. Actually, I think I'm going to give you acquire target. You definitely pulled that off. So, when you still your mind and line up your sights at a target that can't shoot back, roll with calculating.
Okay. Let's see. Calculating.
I know.
That's
It's weird.
Flat. That's a flat. Okay. First 2 yellow dice. Let's re-roll those selected. Hey, if I miss, I get another XP.
Yeah.
And I get a new move.
miss. Oh!
Hey, I get a new move.
Awesome. Just so, you said you had like a
but when I bent down, I picked up one of those MSC rolling droids.
Like, yeah, a little pit droid.
Yeah.
Sweet. You clock him in the side of his armored head, the big yellow stormtrooper helmet, right? You clock him right in the side of the head. It hits the button. The pit droid jumps out, springs out, lands on him. He starts moving around like, get off of me. But he had a buddy. And the buddy is like, oh, when he starts firing at you, you're going to go ahead and take, I don't know if you have any armor, but he is using a blaster rifle, and a blaster rifle does 2 harm. So that is 2 harm unless you want to push it to stress.
I will discharge my basic shields.
Okay.
Now, it says 1 shield discharge, and I know when you discharge, it like does double something. So is it 1 shield all the time? Or is it 1 shield and it's discharged, or is it discharged in 2?
Great question. Let me look that up because I am not sure.
Yeah, because I know discharge
1 shield and every time you used it
weapons.
discharged, but I want to make sure. All right. I am going to just make a quick ruling, and I'll look it up later.
Sure.
That every use of a shield discharges. There's no like double up, because I know that the Warhorse has some special shield related stuff, and I think that's where you can get extra stuff. So you can use that shield to take off 1 of the harm. That's still 1 harm coming to you. You can either take it as just a scratch, actual harm, or you can move it to stress.
I'll take it as just a scratch.
Awesome. So you take just a scratch. Just a scratch has no mechanical impact to you. Higher harm, you actually will be rolling with disadvantage doing certain things.
Okay.
Sweet. So bam, that shield, what color is it when the shield kind of covers up a little bit of the...
Oh, let me think. I assume it's more like a strange purple
Nice.
that pops up, and it's more pink. Like it's not a great color. Like this is the discount shield, like Pepto-Bismol kind of color, and it crackles. And I hear they insert 3 creds to recharge your shield. Oh God, I don't have 3 creds.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, so he's just shot you. It hurt a little bit, but if you want, you can try to run on board the ship, or you can fire back or whip out your little light stick.
So there are 2 of them that are conscious, or 1 of them?
There are 2 conscious. There's one dealing with a pit droid, who has dropped his Source blaster rifle and is trying to deal with that, and the other one who has...
The unfortunate thing is that I have a foible, which is shoot first.
Yeah, you do.
And I think I'm going to roll with disadvantage to try and gack this stormtrooper with the lightsaber.
Do it. Oh my goodness. Firefight is what you are entering. So you roll with volatile.
Okay, I'm going to roll these 3 yellow dice. My volatile is +1.
Yeah, you're pretty good at that volatile stuff.
So that is a 7.
Yeah, it's a 7, yeah, because you took the 5 and the 1 plus 1, 7. So on a 7 to 9, you exchange harm, which means that you do 3 harm to that stormtrooper, which I think is amazing because we get to see it. What does it look like?
So it's that he's hit me with the blaster, and it's at that point that I kind of do the the Jedi jump, which is just a little further than it ought to be. I don't have a move for it or anything, but it looks like I should have been able to jump that far. And as I do, that little Padawan thing comes out in my hand, but I'm not holding it like a sword strike. I'm holding it like a stabby thing. And I come down and I bring that down and cut through his armor there. And I want to figure out if that actually takes him down or not.
Yeah, 3 harm. So that's a great question. I think it's going to deal him a mortal wound. He's not immediately dead, but it's jacked him up real hard.
Okay, and I get
what color is the blaster or the lightsaber again?
It is green.
Nice.
Let me think what I want to say here. I think I'm going to dismay him. Essentially, that probably they probably haven't seen anything quite like this. So I think it's not the best choice for me, but I think it's the one that makes most sense in the fiction.
Okay, so yeah, you impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy. You decide not to discharge. I don't know if we should have a discharge for a lightsaber, although that would be interesting and weird.
Well, yeah, I think that would be me sort of like it's a crappy lightsaber. But yeah, so I've got that, and I've come down.
Cool. He falls back. I'm doing it. You cut off his left arm. Star Wars. There's got to be dismemberments by lightsabers. So you cut off. It's a baby lightsaber. So you just cut it off the wrist. Right?
Yes, I can't get the full arm.
He's got his blaster in his right hand. His blaster rifle in his right hand. He starts stammering back. He's calling over his comms. You can hear it. Need assistance. Need assistance.
I also take harm from him, right?
You do. So I think that after the jump, he got another shot off. So there'll be another 2 harm to you.
Okay. So I think I will have to mark one of that as stress.
Good
and
call.
One of that is harm.
Just
Okay.
want to point out on arm, you can choose which one it is. You don't have to pick them in order on the list. You can go straight up to being knocked out if you want.
No, I don't think I want to be knocked out.
I don't think you do. Okay, so that means you have disadvantage on going into any slick or calculating rolls, but you can easily get it healed. Well,
okay.
Not easily for you because everything's a struggle for you.
Everything's a struggle. My life.
Awesome.
You know how hard it was to get the safeties off of this Padawan lightsaber?
So in the second round of combat back and forth, the stormtrooper who had the pit droid on him has slung the pit droid off, and he's grabbing his blaster rifle. This is when Addie Hen, Damper, and Trey all come into the hangar. Guys, all 3 of you see that with lightsaber light that your captain is dealing with a stormtrooper who has lost a hand and is screaming for backup, and there's another stormtrooper who's bent down and picked up his blaster rifle and looks like he is trying to find crates to hide behind and shoot at her.
Yeah, upon hearing, when I heard the first shot, I started running, and as we come around the corner to the scene, I'm like, Trey, get on that ship! And I'm basically going to blaster shotgun the first stormtrooper that I get into my sights.
Nice. So go ahead and open yourself to danger and exchange violence with this enemy and roll with volatile. This is not going to be pretty.
That's a 5.
That's a 5. That would be a fail. Cool. So blaster shotgun, you fire, and as you do, he dives behind the crates and it hits the crate and kind of skids along, and he fires from a prone position and he fires off a few shots and hits you for 2 harm. And Trey, as well as Damper, you guys are a little bit behind them. You see more stormtroopers coming this way. They are coming a run.
I can decide to take those as stress instead.
You absolutely can. Anything where I say harm, I'm going to apply it to harm, but you can choose to move it over to stress.
Yep.
Cool. So after that quick exchange, Damper, what are you doing?
I look at Trey quickly and I say, I'm gonna cover you're not gonna see me. I'll be close by. And I just like pull up my hood like in those Dungeon and Dragon old comics, and I just like
nice.
Kind of try to find some vantage point where I could like once Trey's engage with them in blaster shots or whatever. I'm gonna try to sneak behind one of them and just like use my my vibro blade because we're in Star Wars and get rid of them. So I'm basically moving around stealthily. I'm thinking maybe that's act quick or something like that.
Yeah, I can see it as act quick. Or if you want to we can just declare that you're moving into that position for right now. And so that's what you're doing right now. We'll jump over to Trey and see what Drunk Trey is doing. Drunk Trey, the stormtroopers.
Drunk Trey is beating feet to that ship. Because
just running onto the ship.
Nice and protected and, less full of holes than I will be.
Nice. It has nothing to do, like you weren't going there to get to behind the turret to help out. You just want to get in the ship.
Right now I want to get in the ship. That is my focus. What I do once I'm there and, maybe catch my breath, that's another story.
Nice. These two stormtroopers are not going to stop you. They have much bigger things to deal with at this point.
Yeah,
so you make your way onto the ship. You run around. You run up the ramp. You basically stumble over one of the pit droids, and it says something to you in droid language that's probably not pleasant. But yeah, you're up on board. You see, there's one pit droid that's just patting one of the top crates because it's very excited that it's gotten a job well done. And it hops down and starts walking all down the ramp, ignoring all of the chaos and the firefight that's ongoing.
Yeah, so I slump into a chair, and then it looks like I'm gonna rest, and then all of a sudden I get woken up by more blaster fire, and then I think I will scramble to some sort of defense if we actually have
nice. Cool. So I'm gonna swing back to Captain. Captain, you get that one stormtrooper. He is not really a combatant at this point, and the other one has fired upon your good friend Addie Hen. What do you do?
I'm like yelling, Captain, get on the ship, get on the ship. I'm pulling out, like I have the shotgun in one hand, I'm pulling out the blaster in the other, and I start going like dual wielding across the hangar bay, just trying to draw all the fire upon me.
I finished this guy off.
Okay.
And it's like it's not a casual thing. It's like a serious thing. We get the highlight, the dark note music as I finish this stormtrooper off before I run.
Is it a thing where like you just kind of stabbing him in the gut, or is
like when he kind of falls back, I do that thing where I put that into his chest, let it sit for a second, and then pull it out because I don't want him talking about what he saw.
Nice. Yeah, you stab him in the chest. He gurgles out. When you pull it out, we actually have a camera trick where we see over your shoulder. We see through to the deck plating. This is just a complete pure hole. He falls to the ground, scoring all around, just this blackened char where you stabbed him through. He's done.
And then I run.
All right. So then you run. Addie Hen and Damper, the two of you are trying to deal with this remaining stormtrooper. I'm going to give Damper the opportunity to take a shot here. You're acquiring a target. So go ahead and roll with calculating and see if you can backstab this sucker.
I think we move down back to the scene where we see him tell Trey to get to the ship. Not to get to the ship. I'm going to cover his ass. But then he moves straight to the ship. And I'm looking like that. And then we see like the captain stabbing that stormtrooper to death. And I'm just mumbling to myself, and I'm the one they don't trust. And I kind of move, try to acquire one of those suckers there and just like finish him quickly with like, take out my vibroblade and just like tap him on the shoulder. He's like, what? And he turns around and I just like slit his throat.
Cool. Roll with calculating. Let's see if you pulled that off.
That's a straight roll. The 2 to the left. Ouch.
Is that a 6?
I think it's a 6.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a 6.
Sweet. So you move over, you tap him on the shoulder. He turns around and tries to fire on you. You slice his neck. He gurgles out, gripping at his throat, and falls to the ground. However, the blood sprays on you, on your tactical cloak there. And when the other stormtroopers, they come, you just happen to be the first thing that they see, and they start firing upon you. You're hit twice, so that's a total of 4 harm that I'm throwing at you. Is only stormtroopers are this precise.
I think I'm gonna take 3 stress. I have no armor or shield, so I'm gonna take 3 stress. So I get a calamity, and I'm gonna move 1 to harm and be rattled, which is I'm gonna have a disadvantage going forward to slick and calculating.
Nice. Lots of stress and harm coming your way. You're knocked to the ground. You're near that crate that got moved by the blaster shotgun. And Addie Hen, the 2 stormtroopers you guys were facing are down, but there are more stormtroopers who are on their way. Are you running towards the ramp, or do you want to just start unloading on these guys? There are 4 of them.
I'm not running. I'm walking towards the ramp, turn to them, and firing upon them. And I think what I'm aiming for here is I want to draw all the fire, so all the like everyone else can get on the ship.
That's awesome.
Right, I'm like trying to be the walking turret, potentially triggering my Juggernaut move.
Absolutely. Go ahead and discharge that move and roll with Stalwart.
That's an 11.
That's amazing.
9 plus 2.
That's
I do
11.
it.
Wow. Okay, so on a 10 plus, you're unstoppable. You choose 2 options.
I mean, you clear or uncover clear path for an ally, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point. So whoever may have to make a roll here. And I also reach my goal.
Awesome.
So hit me with that harm.
You come, I will hit you with a harm. You're going to take 4 harm as well, but in the doing, the captain is able to get on board, Damper is able to get on board, and we hear, you said you wanted to activate the defense systems, right, Trey?
Yes.
So there is a turret. Turret comes, and after you've been hit a couple times, Addie Hen, and this is panic fire. Like, you terrify these 4 stormtroopers. They don't understand how terrifying you are. You take down one of them. Another one gets shot in his leg, and he falls down as well. You take 4 harm, and then the turret just sweeps the remaining 2, and the hangar is clear, and you guys can all get on board. Now, Addie Hen with the 4 harm, how are you marking that?
I mean, we can see the stress on him when I finally reach our ramp, our platform that moves up. Right, there's he's breathing hard, but I'm also using tactical armor.
Okay,
so that's broken now. As I come up, like as the ramp moves up, we already can see him like trying opening up the jacket and ripping out like an like smoking hole armor plate, throwing that on the ground, and I still take a scratch as well though.
Nice. That is perfect. I love it. So, Captain, you can get on board, fire up the engines. You hear through ship communications. You hear Captain Trinick say, "Captain, the Gilded Lily has been granted permission to leave Port Jericho. We will be out in space. We'll do our best to give you some cover."
Appreciate it. Will get us where it needs to go.
Nice. Cool. So how do you plan on handling this, Captain? You've got Trey there operating a turret for you, so that's good news.
He smells like Hall Stripper,
I say to them,
which is a liquor, not a stripper.
we're gonna pop out now. There are Imperials in the air. The Gilded Lily is going to maybe give us some cover, but we've got to get quick jump out. So this is a firefight, kids.
Nice.
Not a problem, Captain.
That's the part where I feel totally useless. I jump in one of the seats in the cabin. I'm just like looking everywhere and what's that? What's that readout mean?
Shush, shush.
Cool. The Nightfall, she pops out and he goes out. You guys go out the magnetic lock. We see red lights that are just inside the magnetic field. They start going off. They're klaxons that are going off. So you guys exit your hangar bay. You come out into space and you see there are a pair of TIE fighters. One is acting as a wingman for the other, which of course gives it an advantage, as we know from the few. So it's screaming down towards you guys. You can see that the Gilded Lily, which the Gilded Lily, she's a sleek little ship. She actually only has a crew of 2. So she is definitely made for hauling quick, not heavy amount of freight. And the Gilded Lily comes across, but it's not going to directly interpose herself with the TIE fighter, but it's trying to take some pot shots with the single turret that she has. So, Captain, what do you do?
I'm trying to pilot us as far away as I can to make the first jump I can.
Nice.
Let my crew do the shots, and I'm just desperately trying to get us some kind of jump.
Okay, so you're trying to act quick. Is anyone going to enter into firefight to try to fire upon the ties?
I'm shooting at anything that moves.
I think we see Damper like in the foreground. The captain doesn't notice, but he's a solo stand, and they know their way around computers and stuff. So he's helping the captain calculate the nav computer stuff. So I'm leaning on him without him noticing, kind of.
Nice. I love it.
So lean
So
on
you're going to
me.
give her some help. That sounds great. Go ahead, Damper, and roll Stalwart. Be good.
Which is not something I'm good at, but here we go. Oh, screw up.
Oh man, oh that's just amazing. So first of all, good news, Damper, with that snake eyes that you rolled, you get an XP. I just want to check something. Do you have a -1 on Stalwart?
No, I think I do. So
you technically rolled a 1. That's just amazing. Cool. I've got it. So yeah, you start trying to plot in the computer, plot in the coordinates, helping out. Captain doesn't know, and yeah, Captain, you will be able to get to light speed in just a moment. But first, let's see Trey, as Trey is taking some shots at these TIE fighters before you guys exit. Go ahead and roll with volatile.
Yeah, every time he's in that, I assume it's like a bubble turret type things.
Yeah.
And every time he turns to get a bead on someone, it looks like he's gonna be sick. He's like nauseous every time he has to move to follow something.
Oh, that's awesome.
And what do I roll for that?
Oh, you
Like
roll with
2
volatile.
Volatile. Right, 2 dice.
Oh, nice.
And a blind
Cool.
squirrel. Yeah.
You exchange harm, and the harm from this ship is from the mounted turret. So it's 1 damage, which is going to take out one of the TIE fighters. Yes, that's right. 1 shot will take out a TIE fighter. Unless it's a dramatically important pilot, then they'll just fly away.
And I choose 3, right?
You get 3, yeah.
So I want to halt and advance.
Okay.
We are able to disengage and take a moment to recover. Maybe that's enough time for our nav computer to
Sounds
plot
good.
us way out of here. And I think we suffer -1 harm because I think I, shoot the one that was coming right for us.
Sounds awesome. Okay, so you guys will take some superficial damage because it would have been 2 harm coming your way. Unless you guys have shield. I don't think you have shields. So you'll just take superficial damage. I'll go ahead and mark that. Did I mark the right place? Yes.
I
Awesome.
think we have shielding, actually.
Do we? Okay, let's take
No,
a
we don't.
We do have shielding.
We don't. We do.
We do. It's on the
You
it's
don't.
at least on the sheet on the installed modules.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so go ahead and discharge your shield. You'll ignore that 1 damage. So the TIE fighter that was coming across does a strafing run on the Nightfall as you take one of them out, Trey. But after it's, we see one of the panels from the TIE fighter fly towards that other TIE fighter, and it dips around and is going around the Port Jericho for another strafing run, but also buying itself time because holy crap, that its buddy just got killed. Buys you time to activate. You plot in the coordinates. So go ahead and power up your hyperdrive to jump to a remote or closer star system and roll with alien, Captain. You are not rolling with advantage from any help.
But even if he fails on the aid, he still gets to pick one, right?
Good question. Let's check. On a 6-, it's rough going. Choose only one. Yes. So what do you choose? Damper.
Yeah, obviously we'll go with advantage here. Let's see what
Okay.
happens.
All right, I'm going to roll all 3 dice. Take the 2 highest with a +2.
Here we
There's
go.
almost no chance that I could fail this.
You're good. No problems.
That's
Wow.
a 14.
Holy cats. All right, so we take a look at the hyperspace drive move. On a 10+, you travel with no complications. The other things that could be happening is having to maneuver and working the drive hard, so you have to mark maintenance or coming out in a place you didn't expect or sustaining damage. So yeah, that TIE fighter comes around. There are more TIE fighters that are coming up from the freighter that it was carried on, and you take off towards hyperspace. We cut to the very tight bridge on the freighter that was carrying the TIE fighters. We have the commander of this freighter who's looking over the shoulder of, you guys remember the little caps that the Imperial guys wear, like not the big crazy Death Star helmets, but like this little small brim caps and the gray uniform. As we see a little engineer, he says, we got him, sir. We were able to get these coordinates. Ryloth. Very well. This rebel scum will be taken down. So we cut to you guys in hyperspace. And you got away safe, no problems whatsoever.
No problems whatsoever.
Cool. So let's take our one and only break here. Take about 5 minutes. So we will pick up it's 10:28 my time, so at 10:33 we will pick up with you guys in hyperspace, dealing with stress and all that good stuff.
One thing, when you come back, can you pop up the whatever tab has the moves on it so I can pick a move?
Oh, yes.
I'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
If you want to have some time to think about the possibilities I chose in my calamity, it's marked
Okay,
up.
good. Let me see what you chose.
It could be something we find inside lot 11, maybe, or it's up to you.
Okay, okay.
I am back. I just have my camera off.
I actually have the TIE Fighter battle scene music in my head. It just came unbidden.
It's one of the greatest songs.
As I was prepping for the game this morning, I was listening to, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the soundtrack to the video game Star Wars Republic Commando. It is incredible. You can find it on YouTube, the whole thing, and it is.
There is a soundtrack to one of the audiobooks. It's a shitty audiobook, but the soundtrack to it is amazing. I'll have to find what the name of that one is. It's just dynamite. It's one I listen to again and again.
Shadow of the Empire. Or
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so good.
They made a video game, I think, on Nintendo 64 about it too.
Oh, neat. But yeah, that music is sharp.
Yeah. All the Shadow of the Empire like side stuff, that was a really, really cool thing. I can't believe they didn't make a Shadow of the Empire movie. Like, that was a pretty cool. Dash Rendar was the Han Solo wannabe.
Cool ship too.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a little bit of bookkeeping stuff that I want to make sure that we care for. People have harm that they will need to cure. We have a calamity, and then we have a new move. So let's give a moment to that. Thank you, Max, for unhiding that tab. I was just trying to keep things.
If you would explain calamity, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd love to hear that.
So as stress marks towards 5, once you hit 5 XP, you mark. Once you hit 5 stress, you mark an XP, and you take a calamity. Calamity are something that was originally introduced in Night Witches, first time I had seen it. And it is a choice. In this game, you have 10 story events that will happen. Some of them are just mechanical changes, like it could be detrimental. I get a wound from a thing, and it means I have to get a cybernetic replacement, or one of my stats permanently goes down. There are also events that are narrative only, such as the one that Damper has chosen, which is that you get your hands on some sensitive information that could compromise someone in power. Now, the calamity list is specific to each playbook, which is really neat. The calamities are also your march towards endgame. So once you have filled all of the calamities, and you can choose any of them that you want, except for the one that we have marked in red. That's the last one. All the others you can mark in whatever order you wish. But once you've filled all of those calamities, you get to the last one. Or actually, I think technically you can choose that last one sooner if you so wish, but it's the last calamity you're going to have. It's basically the end game trigger for that particular playbook.
There's a house rule at the end of the book that says for short play session, one-shots and stuff like that, you can actually trim down the list and only keep the last ones, the harder ones, so that you get to the end game quicker.
That's pretty cool. I could see that. So the calamities are things where you as a player get to take hold of the story. It's strongly encouraged that you work with the Space Master to make sure that it's integrated well. And with the you gain get your hands on sensitive information that will compromise someone in power, I immediately have an idea, but I want to make sure that it feels worthy to you, Max.
But not just me, but the whole table, of course.
Sure. But I mean, you're the one who chose the calamity, so I think you get kind of the veto, as it were. I think that what makes sense to me fictionally and what most recently has happened is if there is information attached to this lot that shows some kind of complicity or setup that is highly illegal for our wonderful security chief over Port Jericho, and it could easily get him fired. Is that
Oh, if we could get rid of Ironside, I would love that.
That's right, Colonel Wilhelm K. Thompson. Yeah, you're able to search through the records that are attached to this lot and see that he trumped up the charges to have all of these lots moved off and sold off to make some profit on the back end, and it actually violates several Imperial laws. So you could get him in trouble with the Empire if you so choose, or you got killer blackmail. It's in your hands.
We don't have to role play this. Actually, I do share this information to the whole crew, so we can use that later on if we wish.
I would love to allow that. If you see some conversation from Addie Hen, I think that'd be a cool framing for the group back together. So let's take care of our little bits of mechanical. Though trying to buy some time because I know you got enough XP to buy a new move. Have you been able to find a move?
Yeah, so I took the disciplined move, which is more about sort of, for me, I think the focused anger, which essentially allows me to try. It's not a great move for me because it uses calculating, but it allows me to try and ignore effects during a situation.
Nice. That's really neat.
Now I need to know. Now I know I need to get Calamity to be able to get my TK move.
Oh my goodness, yes. The new force ability, the telekinesis move. Wow, that's pretty cool. Awesome. So we have some harm. We have just a couple just of scratches, which, when a scene ends, that goes away. So anybody who took just a scratch, go ahead and work that out. We have 2 people who are rattled. So scene is ended, so that will also roll off for you, so you're good. Probably need to spend some time with armor for discharge moves. Do you need to actually roll to recover those? Or is it just time, Max?
Each arm, if you bring up your cursor on it, there's a note tells you what to do with it. So,
oh no, I'm sorry. Like armor is currently for.
Oh, they need to repair it. But since we're back in a safe place with all of our supplies, every stuff is like ready to reuse again.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's because recover is how you would do it in a firefight and in a tense situation. But you guys are good. So, what does it look like for Addie Hen as you repair that piece of armor? I'm really curious how he handles that.
Yeah, I think this is in I don't know, like our whatever the lounging area is where he's like slumped down on one of the banks there and kicked off like the boots and like gotten rid of the actual other armor plating stuff, and it's got that all like strewn about, right? And it's actually like looking through the hole in the plating, and I think it's like, because I did get a scratch, it's like it's like this size on one end, and then it's like just your pinky can tuck through on the other end of the plating. And I think I've already like have some scrap metal that I'm trying to like, okay, how can I bolt this on to like reinforce this plating piece, and like, yeah, working a soldier's work basically there, with like all my stuff for that strewn about on the table, some on the floor. Yeah.
So you finish up your work with the armor. And let's say that you guys are good. You're on autopilot in hyperspace. Got a little bit of time. Damper shares with you the information about the colonel and how Thompson had set this up for the sale and moving of that lot, all of these lots. That it was active, like it was paid up, and he sees that stuff without Imperial authority to sell it on the side, and that's what threw everything out of whack as far as this gun running operation that was ongoing.
With the way you were treated, Trey, I have no quibbles about us pushing that button and throwing that dirt in his face whenever you want. It'd be nice to have a nice quiet place to lean on when you want to rest and resupply and have that kernel out of her hair. Don't you think so?
Yeah, are you talking to Addie or Trey?
It's which one of you guys got into trouble? It's you, right?
I think Addie is the one who killed his brother.
Let's be technical. You both have gotten in trouble with Thompson now.
We're probably sitting around like you, a scattered piece of armor, talking, right?
Yeah.
I have your helmet probably on my knee and looking at him and like poking my fingers in the like the visor and.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. That's an old misunderstanding. You took something way too personal that wasn't even all that.
I never got to ask you, how does that work, your clone thing? Are you all the same inside? I mean, you think alike?
No, we're not droids, Damper. That's the whole point, actually. Like,
well, you kind of were when you shut everyone down, right?
When I what?
Well, that thing that went down. Remember? Or we're not going to talk about it? Okay, I know.
No, we're going to talk about it. Do you see this? Do you see this scar here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was implants. Oh, that's where it was. An implant. What, they mind control you? No.
Emperor, don't you have like your tactical cloak to like clean or something?
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did stuff myself, bad stuff, and I wasn't controlled by some biotech shitty implant, so I'm probably even more to blame than you. I did on my own free will, so I'm not the one that's gonna judge you for what you did in the past. We're good. I'll let you work on your stuff. I'm sorry I brought it up, and whatever. And I'm just like, people. I'm just like, I'm so bad with people, and just leave.
I'm like glowering, but don't say anything more.
Oh, nice. So there is a move that I would like to give everybody access to right now. It's under the special moves. So the move's special in commerce, and it's called downtime. When your crew spends some time relaxing after a contract or cooped up in your ship while traveling between stars, each player describes how they spend their downtime and shows a short scene or vignette related to it. Space Master or another player not in the scene may ask some questions about your downtime, and you would need to answer them. If you work on a personal project, you would mark a tick on it. No one currently has one of those defined, but you can create one. If you confront a crew member with a grievance or disagreement, you can write a foible related to the outcome, which that absolutely is a downtime confrontation. Or if you spend time getting closer to a crew member, you each may choose to heal one stress or have advantage going forward on your next move that you take. So I want to make that available. Are there any scenes that we would see for Trey?
Well, I was going to ask, maybe set it up a little bit, but is it the captain or Addie that finds Trey still in the turret, passed out?
I wanted to have a conversation with you, so follow me.
Perfect. An excellent opportunity.
And I assume it's one of those like down below turrets, like you're down in the thing. So I'm kind of standing above.
Yeah, and I'm strapped in. It's in an angle, and I'm my head's sort of off to the side, snoring.
I reach over to the gizmo that kind of moves it around, and I do that. So it and knocks him back.
Where are they? And you see him, fingers on the trigger. Thank God you probably had the safety on because of hyperspace, and I'm like, shit. And I look up.
Hey, Trey.
Captain.
So, you okay?
Bit of headache, but nothing. A little time won't clear.
Yeah. So, what are you on?
I look down, look around.
What are you coming down off of?
Oh, just some horrible rum. Chadian, I think. I don't know. I can never read the bottle. I had to do something while hiding from those, security agents.
Did you? Because here's the thing. That's you drinking while Addie is moving to try and get you out to safety. Now, here's the thing is we're all crew people here, and I am fine with you getting hopped up on goop, whenever you want, when we are not in the middle of a mission or a firefight or a chase, especially one that started with you calling us that you were running. You came to me and you said you wanted another chance, right?
I don't recall the conversation. Fine. Maybe I had one or two sips too many. But a man has to live a little, He's not looking at you.
We're the only people we have out here. Jericho, you know what's nice about Jericho is we're never going to be able to go there again because of what just went down. So I got to rely on you, and you got to rely on us. So think about that.
Captain.
Ugh, damper.
I figured out a way, and tapping your shot. I figured out a way how to open the lot 11 if you want to look inside and get a peek. I figured it out. I did.
Oh, great. Okay, well, let's go do that.
You okay there, Ali? Ali's working on his armor. What's up, Trey? You got a cabin, right? You got a bunk if you want to rest. Fire's over.
Damper, why don't you help Trey get out of that thing there? And,
sure, Captain.
He gives you a look of pure death.
I'm helping you out.
Nice. Well, it sounded like you guys did a little bit of bonding there.
Grievance for sure.
Yeah. Do you think does it feel like you relieved some stress there by talking openly together?
I mean, I don't think I relieved any stress because Captain was pretty stressing me down.
Okay. Well, there you go. You guys can write a foible related to the outcome if you want.
Yeah, I may rewrite my foible or reword a little bit.
All right, cool. We'll need to rewrite that as rewriting a hook.
Okay.
Yeah, I may do that as well.
Cool. All right. Anybody before you come out of hyperspace have anything else they want to deal with?
I recharge my shield. And probably see me going into a section of my room and opening up a drawer, and it has all of the various power cells, like sized, like just thrown all together. And I'm doing that thing where I'm taking one out and trying to put it in there, and seeing if it says like actual charge or no charge, and trying to sort through those like my grandfather's battery drawer or something.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it reminds me of like the fuse goes out, the old power system, and you're just like, no, this one's still dead, but you throw it back in the drawer even though it's dead. Yes, that sounds.
My dad literally has a Ziploc bag filled with like 80 or 90 AA batteries that have just got. I'm like, why would you put them all in one place like this? So that's what I do.
There you go. Cool. So it sounds like we're good with all of our downtime stuff. You guys will come out of hyperspace. You come into the Ryloth system. So Ryloth, if you're looking in the maps, actually to get to Ryloth, you got to bounce through a couple of different tradeways because it's also in the outer rim and there's nothing that heads directly there. You don't want to go towards the core. So you want to skirt around. So that's why it took us a bit. It's the second planet in the Ryloth system. It has a thin but breathable atmosphere orbited by 5 moons. There's little to no surface water except for patches of water ice on the night side. Ryloth is the homeworld. It's known as Twi'lek Prime. It's the homeworld of, there's a lot of moons. Ryloth is the home of the Twi'leks. The Twi'leks at this time and place are technically a slave race. And there is a large Imperial presence and has been here since the beginning of the rise of the Empire. In fact, before that, there was a bit of a clone presence as the Republic was in place, but it was a lot more peaceful then. There were still feelings of wanting freedom by the Twi'leks, but things didn't get bad until after the Republic started to fall and the clone troopers went away and all that good stuff. So you guys, based on the information that Mila had handed off to you, you know where you need to land on Twi'lek Prime. Twi'lek Prime, you're not going to be landing at a spaceport because that is under Imperial control. So you guys need to find a way to get on planet and get to this remote area in the Rylothian desert where you can meet some freedom fighters for the Twi'lek resistance. And the significant portion of Twi'lek life is underground because it's a lot better temperature control. So they have a very extensive network of tunnels and caves that run underneath. They have villages up on top, mostly kind of the circular dome types, and some are built into some of the large like steps and the like. But the majority of people, like, those are just how they come up to do hunting for weird Rylothian animals. And like, I'm sorry, I'm giving you like way more info than you probably want. I hope it's okay. So you guys you need to land. It is actually near Humver's Spire, and you need to avoid Imperial entanglements. What's the plan on how you want to do that?
I think we're going to just kind of go in low and slow, trying to come in under, but I get Damper up with me in saying to kind of keep an eye for scanning and all of that. He knows how to watch for signals, where the typical patterns are, what the gaps are, and essentially this is a scene where I'm just listening to Damper as I'm flying the ship.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's great. That's really good teamwork.
And I'm babbling away, and it's annoying, but I get the job done.
Cool.
This is how I learned that discipline maneuver.
Nice. Control your anger.
In order to pull this off, I think you're going to need to act cool. So we want to keep your cool under pressure. You roll with stalwart. If you wish to help out, Damper, you may roll with stalwart to lean on her a bit and support her efforts in action.
That didn't go too well the first time.
I know. You don't have to do it.
I guess if we look at the scene, I am doing it. So yes, we'll do it. If it's okay with you, Captain.
Pardon?
Stop helping me.
No, I want your help.
All right, let's do this. Stalwart, which is my best.
That's what you're good at. Prove to me
best
your skill.
approach. Hey, here we go. Boxcars.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah.
So with your -1, that gets you to an 11. You are able to give all three of those. So you are rolling with advantage. And yeah.
Stress. And all that.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, you get 2.
That is
In a
cool.
sec. I'm used to the full spreadsheet, so lean on me. Here we go. You got advantage. You lose 1 stress.
Thank you.
And I am not pushed to the limits or exposed to danger. That's pretty good.
All right. So I
Go ahead
am
and roll with advantage on stalwart.
okay.
That is not great. There's a 3, 2, and a 3. What is your stalwart? A -1.
Just mark that experience right now.
Yeah.
Captain, when I say left, it's the actual left. It's not the mirror left. You should have taken that first nook in the canyon. That's no good. We got to double back here.
Okay. Sorry. I was kind of blanking out what he was saying at the same time. I was trying to listen, and I lost part of it. And I'm like, okay, which? Okay. And I am now. You know how if you're ever driving with somebody and they miss an exit, and it'd be easy enough for them to go back and swing back around, but they kind of freak out then. That's what's happening with me right now. Oh,
nice.
wait. So back. Hold on. Wait, down? You said wait, left, right?
So with this move, keep your cool. On a 6-, the Space Master chooses 2. I'm going to choose that you have disadvantage going forward, Captain, which means on your next roll, you'll roll with disadvantage. And I'm also going to choose that you suffer a danger or hardship that you're faced with. So you start to turn back around, and that is when the alarms start to go off. Wee, klaxon goes off as you see the Gozanti class freighter, which is the TX-271. That is the TIE fighter carrier, comes out of hyperspace. They could have called ahead. This guy, this captain, he's just crazy enough to think that he's going to get something really bright and shiny out of this by chasing you down himself. and he comes out of hyperdrive, comes out of hyperspace, and is coming down through the Atmo, tracking on you. What do you do?
Boy. Huh.
You also get a comm saying, we. And they start off in Twi'lek and they switch to basic. Is this you're using a particular frequency? Do you mean to be on this frequency?
Yes, we do. We would like to deliver something here before we get blown up, okay?
Yes, please. I'll send some people out.
Quick.
Okay.
I'll say, get ready to push that shit out.
All right.
Oh, yeah, we have a droid. I'll get our droid to down there.
Yeah. We've overused pit droids, but damn it, I love them too much. So, yeah. Your plan then is to so if you take a look at the Bright Blade, the way that she works is you drop you kind of drop the bottom. It's an elevator and people can get on and off. I imagine you can kind of drop it and push things out. And
we attach one of those landing chutes to the package. And the plan is that we're going to go down, we're going to drop the back thing, push this off, activate the landing chute. That'll keep it from going forward. And then we're going to take the F off.
That is a crazy maneuver.
Nothing can go wrong there.
Nothing. Maybe not.
Okay.
That's what I want to do.
That is that's a great plan.
That means either Addy or Trax is going to have to supervise getting that cargo out.
Obviously. So is it Addy or is it Trey? Or both?
Are we both
Trey.
hanging from suspending? We're hanging down. So we're
So that we're secured to the ship and we're pushing
secured
this
to
out.
the ship.
That sounds like a good plan.
I like that.
Upside down to pull on each side for the landing chute to make that go. Something like that.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
This has to be done manually, of course.
Of course it does. Yes. You guys could have gone for the upgraded package for the Bright Blades where that would be automated and droid handled, but that was so expensive.
And those electronics fail all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's much
People
better to do
don't.
it manually. People don't fail. Do they, Trey? All right. Good. So I want you guys one person can lead it and the other can help. I need you to keep your cool. So as you guys, the elevator is coming down, wind whistling past as you attach your little your little harness there, and you go down. You're trying to get the chute to pop out. Meanwhile, there are, of course, 3 TIE fighters that are screaming, "Wah!" And you hear the comms coming over as they are trying to identify themselves to you, Captain. And by they, I mean the Imperials trying to have a conversation with you, tell you to land immediately. It is Commander Race Green.
I take off my headset and I say, Captain, if you don't mind, I'll get to the turret just in case.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'll say, okay, yep, we're getting ready to land. and I'm going to make it, part of this is it's going to look like we're landing.
Oh, okay,
To punch it.
Okay, good. All right. That sounds crazy. Let's see if you want to use promises to manipulate someone into not firing upon you, then go ahead and roll a slick there, Captain.
Yeah. Hey, you know what else is going to happen? I'm going to roll with disadvantage because you're a terrible person. So
Yes, I am. I'm a terrible person, but I'm a decent space master. Go for it.
all right. So that is what is my slick? That is a 5.
Nice. That is a 5. So the good news is that you get what's called an experience point in this game. just want to enjoy that saying that it's an experience point.
Go on.
You get XP, and so let's take a look and see if there are any things that happen in the manipulate from a 6-. Double check because some of these have 6. On a 6-, be prepared for the worst, whether they're a PC or an NPC. Okay, cool. I can make that happen. Yeah. So say rebel scum. Take them out of the sky. TIE fighter, 4 TIE fighters pop out and they start screaming towards you and firing upon you guys. So here's what's going to happen. First, the ship takes damage. You will take a total of 2 damage. So you do have shields, which will be recharged. You can discharge those shields. So 1 is going to pass through.
Okay.
And yeah, if you guys fail with your keeping your cool, it is not going to go well. This could be a very bad thing for you. You might fall out.
There's like we're hanging suspended upside down, and then the ship gets hit, right? So we're really feeling that. Like,
yes, you are
seeing the ground fly by underneath. Yeah.
And there's a few Twi'leks that like pop their heads out from little huts and hiding areas. They're waiting for this to be delivered.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Eddie's like, Trey, you got this. Just focus on the job. Focus on the job. I'm gonna count us down, and I go like 3, 2, 1, and so I think I'm like kind of counting us through. Letting him lean on me.
Okay. So I'm doing the work on it.
Okay.
So you're doing, and I big dark circles under my eyes, but I do look alert, but not unnaturally. So, I'm not twitching or anything.
Cool. No stim for you right yet.
You basically have to make sure that like you're aligned with my lead. Yeah.
Okay. And even as I'm working on it, I'm like,
that's
like,
7.
I hope they don't hit this. I mean, isn't this full of thermal detonators?
That's why we gotta do it at the same time, so it goes out straight and not at a slant.
I say, wait. I didn't have a chance to look. Did you just say the thermal detonators?
Yes. Okay, so you got a 7 to 9 on lean on me. You get 2 choices. What are you giving to Trey?
I'm going to give him advantage.
Okay.
And I'm not being pushed to my limits.
Okay, cool. Because I was gonna hurt you a little bit. That's good. Yeah, there's a piece of the ship that kind of flies past your head.
Yeah, I'm like,
what am I doing? Am I keeping my cool here?
You are keeping your cool. Roll with stalwart. You get to roll with advantage because of your good buddy Addy Hen.
Well, luckily with advantage, it's a 7.
That is a 7. Oh, you lucky dog. On a 7 to 9, you get to choose 1. So on a hit, you do it. Yep. But on a 7 to 9, you have to choose to take disadvantage going forward or suffer 1 stress.
I am going to suffer another stress. And I think in this case, it's more the physical stress of doing it because this isn't exactly a precise operation. And, at some point I need to like wedge myself, I think, between like the hull and the sled in order to like, get it out of alignment because it, got jostled by, the fire, and just the movement of the ship.
Nice. So the chute deploys and it just yanks lot 11 straight off. And then it swings down and starts doing that gentle swing, and the parachute is circling wildly. Captain, you start raising up the kind of elevated platform there, and that is damper when you notice that the TIE fighters, one of them is peeling off to go shoot at the parachute. What do you do?
Major Voodoo, and try to track the TIE fighter and shoot him off the sky before he shoots off the
Sweet. Why don't you go ahead and firefight then?
Yep. Volatile. Don't think I've used that yet. So it's +1. Here we go. That's a 7. It's a 7.
It is a 7. Yeah, it's not the boxcars that you had before, but it is enough
I can't always
to exchange harm. And you get to choose one.
Yeah.
So what are you choosing?
I think I'm going to go with frighten those fighters away from the package so they don't shoot at it.
Okay, cool. All right. So you frighten the fighters away from the package, which means that they are going to focus on you. And there will be another hit to you guys, a direct hit, because I love the idea of walking down through this. So when your ship takes damage, mark off one of the options. Direct hit. Let me check real quick.
Don't forget to take
may I
one
ask for
too.
something in the fiction here?
I'm sorry?
May I ask for something in the fiction on that?
Absolutely.
So my guests arrived a little early. So I would love the shot of that hitting the pilot's compartment, and like the blast taking me and me kind of slumped over the controls there.
Oh, that's awesome. There we go.
Okay.
Yes, that's what happens with the direct hit. And the captain is out. Luckily, Damper, you are nearby. We'll say that instead of you being in the bubble turret, that you are up. You can actually manipulate the turret from the front console. So you're going to have to take over and become the pilot, as Addie Hin and Trey are still down there. The elevator hasn't completely closed up yet. And Captain, you're out. You're choosing the knocked out.
I'm so sorry, guys. I will watch the video later. I apologize.
No worries, man. Enjoy your day.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a nice segue though.
So I guess.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good idea. Cool. So, yeah, that is the damage that happens to your ship. You guys choose a direct hit, and actually, there's no specific mechanic for direct hit. It just means I'm going to say that the storage module 9, which is suitable for a turret mount, is destroyed. You're going to have to seal it off, because it will vent to space. If anybody's there when you go out into hyperspace or go out to space, they will be exposed. So you hear that weep, 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 weep.
There's probably a draft inside the ship at this point. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, we're stumbling about in the cargo bay, right? From
Mhm.
and being like from one side to the other.
You're doing the Star Trek thing.
Yeah.
guys, the captain was just taken out. She's out. Get back here. Get back into the cabin. Get back here, please.
Cool.
But she okay? And I'm scrambling up like a ladder to get up.
Yeah, and I'm behind you.
Sweet. So you guys both head up from the.
Which of the two of us is better to pilot a ship, Addie? Like, which of us has experience? I've flown personal craft, but probably only rarely have flown this ship. But Captain and I have been through enough that I probably have.
Yeah, like I'm not a great pilot or anything, but I can do it.
So maybe as you're running in front of me, I'm like, was Damper on the guns? Or was Damper in the turret, or was Damper in the cockpit?
Damper, we're basically saying that Damper's in the turret, so that Damper can take over piloting the ship. So either one of you can hop into the turret to take over that fire. One of you should probably deal with. Sorry.
Yeah, I even had a question there, right? Do you want to go down and because you've now once got to shoot the turret? Do you want to do that again for Trey? Does that sound fun to you?
Actually, Trey says, in a fit of responsibility, decides to take the lead on things, and he says, "Addie, get in the turret. Damper, fix that hole. I'll get us out of here.
Ooh, neat. All right. So, yeah, you guys do a little bit of a switch up. The TIE fighters, they scream past. They're coming around for another pass. You hear over the comms in that heavily accented basic from the Twi'lek contact who spoke with you before. We have the containers. Good work. You guys should get out of there. like you weren't already.
Yeah, I sort of just like roll my eyes and just like stab the console and turn it off.
Cool. So you
So I'm
slide
getting
behind
into
the
seat,
console. Shove the captain aside so you can
Yeah, pretty much.
Shove her to the deck. Yeah, that's cool. So you take over and throw on the headset and start heading. I imagine trying to head up and out of Ryloth to get into hyperspace.
Yep.
Cool. So
and I yelled at Damper. I'm like, you have 1 minute before we're out of atmosphere.
So I think I'm gonna have to do spot repairs. That's a move.
Yeah.
We're under stress, so I have to roll with stalwart again. So I hook up some safety harness to my waist, and I'm trying to move some plates and weld them in place as quickly as I can. And as I'm doing that, we'll see how good I am at this.
Oh, this is awesome. I really like this scene. This is good.
There we go. 5.
That's a 5. Oh, nice. Well, let's just read the move for spot repairs on a 6-.
Well, it's act under fire, actually.
Yeah.
Keep your cool.
Okay,
so
that's right. Because the spot repairs is leading to the basic move of keep
exactly.
it cool. 6-, SM chooses 2. You suffer a stress disadvantage or suffer a danger or hardship you're faced with. So yeah, you move. You're exposed to air, and a TIE fighter comes around, fires again, and there's an explosion. You're going to take 2 harm as it throws you back. The tether keeps you in the corridor, but at this point, it's only gotten worse. So if you take a look in the map of the ship, originally it was Section 9. Now the port, right? Starboard is right, port is left. The starboard wing has been clipped, and she is going to have some trouble getting into hyperspace at this point. Addie Hin, why don't you try to firefight, because you've got some TIE fighters to deal with.
Thray, you can't go into space right now. Things just got worse before they got better. We can't really go into space. We're gonna implode if we do so at this point.
And I'm basically just trying to lay down a barrage, to keep them away, more than hitting them. That's a 7.
All right, with a 7, you get one choice, and you exchange harm.
Yeah. Yes, this is right. I'm trying to impress them, or frighten them, or dismay them by like I said, I'm firing full barrages across them, so they have to veer off again, and
sweet,
create a little bit of room for us to do something about the situation.
Awesome. So at the same time that you do that, that's when that hull breach occurs, which is the new harm level that the ship is at. She is not space worthy until you guys do spot repairs to at least take it down to direct hit. If you go in, she'll vent oxygen to space, and that is not at all good. You take out one of the TIE fighters, and the second TIE fighter, after it fires on you, it banks. You remember, this is like a Gazanti, so it's numerous TIE fighters. Another TIE fighter starts to bear down on you guys. You see it, Trey, coming close. I need you to act quick. Otherwise, this thing, he's not going on a suicide run, but you feel like maybe he's trying to put some kind of crazy ass tow cable or something on you.
Yeah, so as Damper says about our astrogation, as I'm climbing and you see me level off and shove aside something on on the console that you're pretty sure reads astrogation manual, and let's see, I have a guy right in front of me. You wanted me to act quick, yes?
Yeah, act quick. Roll with slick. You got a +1 on that. You're on the 2 pip dice?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, that's why I kind of moved him off to the side.
That's what I figured. I just wondering. 7 + 1,
7.
8.
I will take a middling result.
All right. On act quick 7 to 9, you do it but choose one. You have disadvantage going forward. You leave something behind, or you're push your limits and take a stress.
I hate to just take stress, but this seems most appropriate. I'm taking a leadership role, and I'm flying the captain's ship, and if I don't get it to somewhere safe, she will kill me. Because if we don't die on the on the crash, we'll certainly die. I'll certainly die afterwards.
Okay, cool. So you move quick. The TIE fighter shot out a tow cable, and it fires. It goes limply behind you. It misses because you're able to bank hard. As you do that, Addie Hin, you're on the bubble turret underneath. You are kind of tracking across to see that one TIE fighter, and you see this like little coming from the sand, some little thing with a smoke trail, and it goes and pops right into the TIE fighter, and the TIE fighter explodes.
Nice.
Did you see that one of those storage compartments has hit the ground, and there are Twi'leks that have scampered over or just pulling out ordnances?
Seeing what they can do.
We got some friends down there, and I'm trying to basically, because I'm hanging in there, looking up, so that's looking down onto the landscape, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see if, because I'm now and I'm like feeling I'm going trade. We need to
go to ground somewhere.
Yeah, I'm looking and I'm trying to make out a spot on the landscape, trying to scope things out.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Okay, cool. Why don't you scope things out? You roll with calculating.
Well, snake eyes.
Snake eyes. Oh, that's lovely.
I think I found a spot.
Sweet. Okay, so there is a spot that you see ahead. It's so yeah. So there's a spot you see ahead. It's don't forget to mark your XP.
Yep.
There's an outcropping. You know that if the bright blade can kind of dart through there, that the TIE fighters, they're sloppy fighters. You're watching them. They're terrible. They're going to crash out. It's going to be easy peasy. So that's the best place to go.
And that's where I go to duck in.
Yeah. So I need you to act. So if you guys are okay with this, you will need to act with disadvantage to pull off that move. That's my move. He's guiding you towards a very
I'm okay
dangerous.
With you passing that on.
Okay, cool. Because I often feel weird about one person gets a hard move, but I pass to another player.
Hard move, but it makes sense.
Okay, cool. So but just before you do that, I'm cutting to Damper. Damper, there's so much of the side of the ship exposed to air. I'm kind of imagining that. It was one of the Avengers movies where like Iron Man's trying to help out with the engine, right? And everything's just whistling past. You are going to have to shut down basically seal the hallway. So if you take a look in the ship along the right-hand side, there are hallways that run to SE, which is the starboard elevator, and then to the right of or above and to the right of crew cabin 1, the security officer cabin. You're going to need to shut down both of those doors and that hallway is unusable until you're able. Like you can do that if you don't do spot repairs, or you can try to do spot repairs. Those are your two choices. You can just seal this section off and take care of it the next time you guys dock, and you'll be okay. Or
I'm not sure we can do that, because if you look at the plans, there's a central corridor that runs through. So basically, there'd be 3 doors I need to seal off. It's a lot.
That is a corridor. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I have a crazy idea, but I'm not sure I can pull it out.
What's your crazy idea?
I'm not sure we can bring it. I want to. It's never gonna work. Where's the land speeder truck?
The land speeder would be directly underneath. Directly underneath, like 6 and 7 is where I would imagine it would be. Kind of where 12, 13, 6, and 7 are is where the land speeder would be.
We need to land to do this, but I'm thinking bringing out this land speeder truck and shove it in the hole and then weld it in place. Because it's the only big metal part we have at this point that could like probably fit in the hole.
Oh my goodness. The Nightfall. He's just got a land speeder stuck in the side. That is insane.
I'm probably gonna put the top side inside so it kind of looks not too weird.
All right, we're gonna, as you're thinking about grabbing that land speeder, we swing back to Trey, the pilot, rolling with disadvantage on
I'm still, the ship's going upside down, bank left, bank right. Who knows if I will pull this out?
Who knows? I have an inkling.
So do I. And is this stalwart with disadvantage?
It is acting quick still, and you're rolling with slick.
Slick.
You have a +1 on that.
Yeah.
You choose your worst 2 of these 3.
Yeah,
they're all 3s.
It's a 7.
It's a 7. All 3s, and it's a 7. That's pretty good.
And I think this could be narratively quite interesting. I don't want to, but I'll let Damper give the call on this if it's appropriate. I think we've left something behind, and I'm wondering if if it wouldn't be too much to say that you're getting that pickup truck in place, and I make a couple hard maneuvers, maybe banking off the canyon a little bit, and the pickup truck is not as big as as the hole.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. So yeah, you kind of pop down, Damper, you run over, you're getting into the land speeder thing and try to maneuver it. So you've got like a button push thing, and you're trying to get it to maneuver. And when he banks, it flips, and the thing crashes into the side of this outcropping of rock, and it flips back, whoosh, 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 and part of the elevator's slightly stuck open. You think you can close it, but getting it back open again could be a problem. TIE fighter slams into the rock outcropping. Another TIE fighter ducks down, and just the tops of his little panels scrape along the outcropping. You can see sparks kick back. But then we spin in. There's the little pilot. He's like looking around like, I'm alive. Comes through behind you guys, and the bright blade makes that maneuver. You pulled it off by hook or by crook, but there's no way that the land speeder is going to easily come out, and you would have to land. So yeah, it's not looking good at all. Addie Hen, do you want to try to take a pot shot at that TIE fighter?
Oh yeah, I'm like, okay, this is over now, and we see him concentrating and the seat flipping up, and I got the controls right, and I got my 5th XP, so I'm taking Gunner, which
nice.
Is when you fire a ship or vehicle weapon, you have advantage.
Nice.
Yeah, I've had it now, right?
I was gonna say that's useful.
That's a good one. Cool. Acquire a target. This guy was way busy trying to make it through that outcropping and not die.
And we hear the exhaust shoot, music from the first movie.
Nice.
Acquire target it is?
Yeah, you're rolling with calculating, which you get to roll with advantage.
Nice.
don't roll snake eyes.
Yeah, I need to roll another die.
Okay. You got a 4 and a 1.
And a 2.
So
That's
you roll
6
a
plus
6.
1 is right.
Yep.
These two.
Yep.
The 4 and the 2, that's a 6 plus 1 is 7. So
on a 7 to 9, you deal your harm. So you deal harm. The guy comes through, he looks, I'm alive. And then with a laser shoots right through his little cockpit thing. You know, you can see it in the glass looking area, right? You take him out, the TIE fighter blows up. And there are no more TIE fighters that are chasing you guys right at this moment. Trey, what are you doing?
I am looking around for a more secure place to hide this ship. You know,
Okay.
like an area with an overhang or, you know.
Okay. So you can, if you want, double back to where you guys dropped everything because you think you can possibly land there. You didn't see a landing spot, but there are Twi'leks there who would willingly help you. Or you can find an outcropping that's away from them that fits the bill.
Just one, as you're thinking there, what's going on with the cargo elevator? Is it like partially up? Is it because it took damage
It's
from
halfway.
the landscape?
It's like halfway. The right hydraulic is basically it's crimped over from the land speeder going out of it. So if you shear that off, then the leftmost hydraulic will pull it off. But man, that's gonna be expensive.
Is this gonna hinder our landing? Can we still land? I think we can.
You can
The way
still
the ship-
land.
Okay, I won't damage the ship more because the captain's gonna kill me.
I'm gonna swing back near the Twi'leks only because I know we need actual like assistance to fix this. You know, this isn't something we can just use with, you know, the spot welders and, you know, stuff that we have, you know, on the ship.
Awesome. So you swing back around. You come in low, trying to stay out of any radar range. And you see that of the 3 crates that are all fixed together, they have all 3 of them lifted up and they're carrying them. And they're like going, you can see it kind of going down into the sand. But a couple of the Twi'leks will spot you and one will come out and kind of wave you down. It's, you know, it's a tram freighter. You can land in the sand. It
Okay.
will gum up the systems and
Fine.
be cleaning sand out for a while. But yeah, you land down, you can actually, there's like a when the landing gear comes down and the elevator's pushed up a little bit because the hydraulics don't pull it all the way up. And there's this sound of scraping metal.
Yeah, and as I'm shutting the system down, you know, I shut it down and then you see me, you know, quickly unbuckle and then reach down to check on Captain.
Nice. Yeah, she's out of it. You can carry her. She will need some medical assistance, but she's not going to bleed out. She's not in imminent danger. She has what's called visitor's disease, and you think that it'll be okay next game session.
Okay.
Until then, she'll speak incoherently about the Force, just because that amuses me. She'll have like flashbacks where she's talking, no, Anakin, no. Cool. So as you guys land, there are Twi'leks who are coming out, and one of them's like not many of them are speaking basic. If you speak Twi'lek, that's totally cool. You just say if you do or you don't. We will have subtitles underneath. There's one female Twi'lek, older, and she's screaming at a few others. For those who can understand, she's saying, "Get the cover, get the cover, get the cover," and they start pulling some tarp up, and they're going to try to tarp over your ship and hide it. Okay, basically camouflage it in plain sight here, because the Empire has
Santan tarp.
Yeah, that's their plan. And they're going to try to escort you down underground where their people are. One of them, Twi'lek, a male, he says, I can help you with your female, with your friend. We can help her.
and I think maybe at this point Addie and I are supporting her, and I'll hand it off if they have a stretcher and whatnot.
Okay, cool. So just kind of closing shots. I think this is a good point. You guys are on Ryloth. You're kind of going down underneath into the underground to hide out. You've got a lot of repairs that need to be done to the nightfall. So I wanted to get just last glimpses. What are we seeing with Addie Hen with all of this going on?
I think we see how he we hand over the captain, and before the Twi'leks leave with her on the stretcher, like he reaches out and catches one of her arms that would have hung down from the stretcher and puts it back on onto her, giving her a pat on the shoulder, you recover, and then turning back and taking a look at our ship, which there are multiple places where there's sparks flying, something where smoke's coming out, and the kind of lopsided wedged thing, and I'm looking at that and I'm and I think that's the last shot on Addie.
Nice.
Running his hand through his hair and looking at the mess we've gotten ourselves into. Yeah.
Cool. What's the last shots that we see for Damper?
I think we see him approaching the ramp going inside those underground facilities, and one of the Twi'leks, approaches him, and he obviously knows him, and he pats him on the shoulder. He says, "Damper, you've come back to the cause. You're going to fight with us again." And Damper just looks at him and says, "No, I'm with the captain now. Don't get your hopes too high. She's the only one I work for now." And he looks disappointed. And he looks at the captain with a lot of doubt and grief, and he hopes that she's okay, and looks at the ship and says, "However we're going to get out of this mess, I don't know, though."
And what's the last moment that we have? I know that you were carrying Captain with you, but Trey, is there anything else in our last shot with you?
Yeah, so I think he watches Captain being carried away, and he's looking back at the ship, shaking his head. You notice that, he's normally, unless he's on a serious bender, he's, normally, all presentable and, everything, his clothes usually look good. His hair usually looks good. And, he just looks like he's a mess. He has, scorch marks on the side of his face, a little bit of blood on his hand from, helping Captain, his shirt's, half untucked, but he's, just watching the Captain go and just, obviously concerned about whether she'll make it.
And I'm obviously there, so maybe we see next to you or
right
behind you, Addie taking a sip out of a flask and then passing the flask on to you.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
And I'll just take a swig, but I sort of look at it and just hand it back.
Nice. And the last shot we have is of the prowling Gazanti class frigate that is in Atmo and scanning this area. And Captain Race Green still searching for you guys. And that will conclude this session of Impulse Drive. Let's do our end of session stuff. Okay, so we've got cliffhanger. When you reach the end of an episode, go through the following. Each player takes turn reading their hooks. There are a lot, so just take a look at your hooks. Are there any hooks that you have that you feel have been that have impacted play?
For mine, it was the Always under the influence of something.
Yep, absolutely. Let's take an XP for that.
Okay.
I didn't really have any, like, we played at some, but nothing that really impacted things.
I don't know. Protecting the captain from anything, even themselves, I feel like you lean towards that one. You don't
I
feel like
agree.
that
I
impacted play?
You did that scene in the cargo bay there when you decided to.
Yeah,
No.
I think I would have probably done the same thing. Like that's just his nature.
Okay.
If I'd had a chance to like throw myself into danger to throw it off the captain, then I would see it.
Okay. Cool. Damper, any hooks that you feel?
Maybe the one with Hattie and the fact we're sharing guilt of betrayal. For this little scene there in downtime.
Okay. Cool. And then I'm going to rule that captain got one for always shoot first. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
So we'll give an XP there. Are there any hooks that you have that you feel are resolved and no longer seem relevant?
We should try to bring those down to 3. Yeah.
It'd be nice if there are any that just don't feel like they're working for you.
I like the fact that we're using a lot of hooks that are based on relationships.
Mhm.
So I'd probably take off the 2 I'm not using, the roof over my head and the fact that I'm always cold.
Okay. See if there are any hooks that you'd like to nix because you don't see them impacting play. Feel free. All right. Did you complete a mission or contract? You actually did. Your mission was to deliver the goods to the freedom fighters on Ryloth, which you have. Did you learn something new and important about the universe?
Yeah, we did. The colonel's dirty.
Yeah.
Some dirt on him.
Yeah.
Did you make a new enemy or thwart an existing enemy?
Yeah.
Whoever's in control of that freighter.
Captain Green. Was there a big moment that hinged on a crucial role?
There was a few.
Yeah, just kept missing them. Cool. So for every yes, you get an XP. So that's mission contract, you're important, thwarting an enemy, and hinging on a crucial role. Everybody gets 4 XP. Wow.
Yeah, that's actually enough for me to get another thing. I think I'm gonna upgrade Stalwart because we use it a lot and it's at -1. So
I am going to add a note here. 1 advance. Take 4 captain. Based off all that XP that just got rolled out. That's a lot of XP. After these questions have been resolved, mark burn ticks and all that good stuff. So that will bring this session mechanically to a close. I love to do the roses and thorns at the end here. Our maintenance fuse is full. Sorry, just statistics. That's where you're at. You've really got to fix that bad boy.
no worry.
And moving that.
She's hurt pretty bad, huh?
It's bad. She's got a hull breacher, not adrift. Cool. I'm gonna. Yep. There we go. So once you guys do those repairs, though, you'll be able to clear maintenance, the maintenance fuse, and yeah, I think that does all of my burns and ticks and all that stuff. I think I'll double check later. Roses and thorns. Thorns. Again, this game is in beta playtest, but also I like feedback on things that I did during the game. So feel free.
And are we doing this on camera or not?
We are. Well, if you guys,
Whatever.
It's always a scary proposal when someone says, "Do you want to take this off camera?" Because that means they have bad stuff. No, I'd love for Adrian to be able to hear any game-related stuff. And then if you guys want to hold after that, we can do non-recorded feedback. So let's speak specifically about Impulse Drive. What thorns did you guys have? Popcorn thorns for Impulse Drive this time around, your second session in?
The take aim, is that how it's called? That move when you can basically acquire target.
Yeah, acquire target.
I would rewrite when you still in your mind and line up your sight at a target that can't shoot back. I'd say that can't retaliate back because we saw the captain do a melee move. He wasn't shooting, right? So maybe just change that word there so that people know they can use it in, hand-to-hand combat. That
makes sense.
Yeah, it's a small thing. And there was something else. The shield stuff there. The fact that you get one shield, but then you discharge your shield. It kind of feels, I don't know how to say it, but it should be easier to say you have one shield active, and once you get it, it's discharged. I don't know. There's something that's not working for me there with the fact that it's discharged. I don't know if you can follow me on that. I find there's like a lot of steps going on with the shields, basic shields. Something's not working exactly in my mind. There's something not clicking.
Yeah,
it's the interaction with the gear that you decide. Now I need it, so I have it, and then I discharge it immediately
right away, right? So I just say you have one pointed shield, that you can lose it. I don't know. Then you need to discharge it to recharge it. I don't know. Something has to be done there, I think. In my own opinion, that's it. That's pretty mechanics wise. That's why I saw today.
Okay, cool. Any other thorns that we have for the system?
Upon looking at calamities, for the first time, I really like the mechanic of it. But even for a long campaign, 10 seems like a lot. 10 options. I'm comparing this, I guess, to maybe Urban Shadows, which its corruption mechanic is similar. There might be more options to take stress, obviously, with combat, but we have damage meters as well, to absorb that harm. I just think 10 might be too many, but I guess I don't know how many long campaigns have been run of this. What's the duration Adrian's going for?
So, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I hear you, but at any point somebody can jump to the 10th one right away.
Yeah, and I just wondered whether it'd be maybe better to still list out the 10 items, but give 5 checkboxes at the top of
makes sense.
You can take 5 of these before you have to retire.
Do you have access to the book?
I do.
Look at the end. I think the section is called Adrift.
Okay.
Drifting. There's several optional rules. There was one about shortening the list there.
That's a good point, though. The 10, something to think about.
Yeah, and I was just curious.
It's a good idea though.
Played where 10 was taken. How many sessions really did that take?
All right, thank you very much for that, Steve. Matthias.
Yeah. So one thing that I'm noticing is most of the moves have a 6- condition. And I think it does 2 things that I usually do not like as much. Being on the player side, I'm not as affected by it, but indirectly, I'd say. One is it leads to this round by round combat, which is then this weird middle ground between Powered by the Apocalypse and a more traditional combat system, which can feel weird or strange. And the other one is I'm not sure how it is for you, Rich, but if I were a GM of this game, I'd be like, I don't get to roll anything, and if I get the initiative because someone rolled a 6-, then I have things going on in my head where I want to push the plot to, want to make what I want to make happen, and then I would feel restrained if I get on the basic moves such a constraint. Oh, this is going to mean disadvantage for them going forward, or something like that. I want to do what then fictionally makes sense. And I mean, yeah, you can always just say, I don't like I'm gonna do that, but then I'm kind of playing against the rules, or that can feel strange.
Or maybe just add like at each end on a 6-, you get da 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 da, and the Space Masters get to do his thing too, like his move.
I mean,
just
I'm
add
like,
that.
There's already so many moves and a lot of text. What would actually be lost if there's at no point anywhere a 6- definition?
I did
It's
see
just
that too when I was
just a-
reading them. That usually most games don't have those -6 very defined things.
Yeah.
Or just
would the
one
game
or
actually
two.
lose anything if it would be that way, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, and keep your cool. One thing I'll say I'm happy is there is that on the 6- it says, the Space Master has 2 choices: stress, disadvantage, and the third one, you suffer a danger or hardship you're faced with. Like,
It's essentially make a move that you want to do.
your Space Master thing, like just do the thing, which is weird to like have that codified, but okay. I hear you. I think that some space and maybe some mental bandwidth could be saved by taking out the 6-, but
A good way
It's
to do it is add like some Space Master moves on the list, like
well, there are
player.
Space Master moves.
Yeah, meaning player gets to roll with disadvantage. You write it in the Space Master moves once it's in there,
yeah.
so you don't have to repeat it all across the moves, right? It just bang bang, something like that.
That's not a bad idea. You just put that within the Space Master's reaction
Options.
moves.
Exactly.
Options. Cool. Any other thorns that we had from system-wise?
Mm-mm.
All right, let's talk about roses. If you guys have some roses specifically about Impulse Drive, I'll lead off to say I really like the changes. I thought that the XP, just calling it XP, feels much more comfortable for me. I liked the hooks. I didn't realize when Lowell asked me about the hooks that the hooks at the end of session now give you XP. So it's not just rolling with disadvantage. If you role play to them, you'll get an XP even if you don't roll fails. I explained that to him incorrectly, and that's super exciting. Any before I steal all the roses, any system-wide Impulse Drive roses?
Yeah, I think even if like the shields feel clunky, but with the shields, so between the shields, the armor, and taking stress instead of harm, it works really well to have Star Wars firefights in this. Right, my whole stick with like moving through the hangar and blasting and like blaster fire going everywhere, and that's just how the movies are. You can lay down a lot of fire, and not actually many people need to get hurt at that point, but it increases the tension, the action. That actually works really well, I think.
Nice, I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
Steve, any you had?
Nothing explicit. I mean, now that we're seeing more of the moves and getting to use them, I'm liking how they interact. So I'm just, glad that we have the extended play to do it.
Good. Max, any roses you want to throw out?
I like how the ship handling is super easy. You just like basically roll your own moves and apply them to the ship. So most of the Star Wars game I was into, it's always once you get into a ship fight, it's kind of clunky, but the way it's done here, it's super easy. So it doesn't, and we all get to do stuff on board. So yeah.
Cool. My last rose, I actually expected someone else to throw it out there. That's why I didn't say it. But the end of session, instead of having to do MVP and workhorse, now it's hooks and a few questions. Super dig it. Like it went from a slightly uncomfortable for me, like picking who's the MVP, to this is really cool. Like I'm super into this. It's a lot of XP. Might want to go kind of along the lines of Monster of the Week, whereas like if it's 4 questions, you get 2, and if it's 1 or 2 questions, you get 1 XP. 4 XP's a lot, but and then if you did a hook and then bam, that's advanced, like right there, just from end of session.
Well, at the same time, it's perfect for the way we do stuff on the pamphlet, right? So we get to get more moves.
That's true. We're definitely going to turn through some moves and some cool advances. So that's a good point. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll go ahead and stop the broadcast here. We are going 2 weeks before next session. Next weekend, I will be at Camp Nerdly having fun there.
Yeah, I
And
enjoyed that.
so we'll see you guys in a fortnight. We'll start off in Ryloth. I'll stop the broadcast here.